Hello, land of YouTube. Little Bitcoin update here. Check the volume real quick. We've had a drop. Those of you watching know that already. So in my last video, I was talking about this little bit of buying pressure is just not going to cut it. It's not going to lead to an upward push. And look at this. Just a little bit of selling pressure has come in today. And it's dropped the price from 36,000 to 33,300. So $2,700 drop on just a little selling pressure, and that's what I was talking about in my last video. The volume is so low that we've been following this Wyckoff chart over here on the left, this full cycle, which I believe is going to play out. In the middle is the redistribution, and on the far right over here is the accumulation, which for some reason YouTubers one after the next have been saying for 7 weeks. This is an accumulation phase, and I just I've constantly been saying this is not accumulation phase. These first 3 weeks, or these first 3 peaks, if you look at the redistribution pattern, it fits it to a T. Somehow they got a spring out of it. I was off almost a record amount of shorts, but it's now proven that that's definitely not following the accumulation pattern. It never was. I don't know where they were getting that from, but I've been pretty critical about that. You might want to stop watching channels that have been saying this is an accumulation pattern. And I'm not trying to say my channel's better or you should watch my channel. I'm just saying, it's just a fact that no one out there should be calling this an accumulation. So one thing I had shown a few days ago, a few videos back, was I put this channel in here. I was trying to show where these daily closes are. This is the daily chart, which I'm charting this entire Wyckoff cycle on. It's almost textbook. See that? See the similarities? It's just following it to a T. It's a full distribution pattern, which actually, if it plays out fully, we're going to be down under 20,000 in that ballpark. But I put this channel in here and used a parallel line. I had shown this little channel here. I was showing the trajectory of money leaving the market. So an accumulation pattern wouldn't be slanted down like that, right? Money's leaving the market. That's not accumulation. Just that fact alone. Forget about any patterns. There's money leaving this market. There's not money coming into it. YouTubers might be able to find somebody somewhere that's putting money into it. But this is the Composite Man, right? Wyckoff, the guy that observed all these patterns. He's taught people to play this like a game against one single entity and just call it the Composite Man. So the Composite Man is clearly taking money out of this market. I don't mean to be doom and gloom here, because the whole point of what I'm trying to say is once we get down here, however we get down here, that's when this true accumulation pattern will show up. And eventually down here somewhere, there's going to be a real spring that leads up to something like this, right? So that's why I was saying, if this plays out, come back, subscribe to my channel, because I can pretty much pinpoint the real spring when we get down here. This obviously is not it. This is pretty much all the proof you need. That accumulation pattern does not have a big giant drop, right? This is supposed to be pumping up here. In my last video, I was saying if it does, it's probably not going over the 200-day moving average line, and to watch out here for a short attack. So the markets are closed today, Monday. They're going to open Tuesday, so don't trust the weekend. We're going to have to see what happens Tuesday, if just a little bit of more pressure, selling pressure comes in here, this could drop down here. If it drops down below like 30,000, if it sets a lower low, and just say goodnight, Irene, right? If it gets down here on this daily chart, and this was a few days ago when I showed this, we were at this peak here, like June 27th is when I showed this. June 28th, June 29th is when I first showed this little channel. And I was going to put this in my last video. Now I wish I would have, but I was saying it has obstacles to overcome if it wants to go above 40,000. And I should have put this channel in there. I didn't. But look at that. This came up here and it bounced off this channel again, right at 36,000. Look at that. See that? Bounce off the channel, bounce off the channel. Had this big push here. led to the second most shorts in the history of Bitcoin, and then bounced off the channel. So if this comes down here and falls out the bottom of this channel, which would put it right at about 30,000, if Bitcoin falls down below 30,000, like say on like this daily chart on a higher time frame like this, if it spends time below 30,000, you could pretty much just go ahead and look at that graph up on the left there and say that's going to play out. It's not a guarantee, but if it comes down here and sets a lower low, 28,900, then you can pretty much just say that it's going to fall down all the way. Now, I've been saying death wick. I don't know if it's going to be a death wick, death candle, I should say, a daily death candle. What I mean by that is these big red things that drop $10,000 in a day. So generally when that happens, there needs to be a lot of liquid in the market that can be taken out, like a lot of high leverage longs and stuff. So I don't know if there's enough in there right now. There hasn't really been a whole lot of buying pressure. This is just what I'm watching. My last video was talking about going above this blue line, how difficult that would be. And we didn't even make it out of this channel at 36,000. So Bitcoin is weak right now. But don't be mistaken. I'm a Bitcoin bull long term. And I still believe we could be over 100,000 pretty quick. So it's Bitcoin falling like this is actually good news, right? Because I don't want to tell people, if they should buy or sell or do it, because there's millions of different situations out there, right? And I don't know everyone's situation. And any advice I give could be wrong for one person, right for the other. So, but the point I'm getting to is once we get down here, if or when it falls into this $20,000 range, that's good news, because once it stabilizes down here, then we can start to feel secure. It's not going to drop, because there's still a chance it could come down to 9 or 10,000, right? So we'll just have to play it by ear. But it's going to start stabilizing, and it'll eventually start to gain momentum. And this little mini bull run in 2019 here is really interesting. So maybe a mini bull run later in the year 2022 into 2023. That has nothing to do with the halving cycles. That's something I'm starting to think is going to be likely, right? The 4-year cycle might kind of be over for Bitcoin at this point. So once it loses a bunch of value, that's when the big investors will start getting back in, and Bitcoin can start to gain some momentum, right? And it can still push over 100,000 in the year 2021, but it's less likely now than it was before. But 4 or 5 years from now, Bitcoin can be $1 million. I'm a Bitcoin bull, so I just try to make responsible videos, right? I'm not going to just spit out stuff that I've seen somewhere else that's obviously not right. And if you've been watching my channel, I've been saying the reason you might want to subscribe is because if this plays out, then I can identify, we can together can identify where the real spring might be at down here. And this obviously is not an accumulation pattern, but I just know there's big YouTubers out there broadcasting to hundreds of thousands of subscribers, telling them that this is accumulation and they should be buying. I just want to kind of give a big picture in this video. Tuesday, the markets will open back up, and if a bunch of selling pressure comes in conclusion, if a bunch of selling pressure comes in and Bitcoin goes below 30,000 and stays down there for a while, or sets a new low at like 28,900, below 28,816, this wick here, you can pretty much say good night, Irene, and say hello, 20,000. Maybe it only goes down to 23,000. Maybe we stop at 26,000 for a while. Maybe 23,000 is the bottom. But you get the picture what I'm saying, right? I am expecting it to come down here to I might move it up to like 17,000, because the 200-day moving average on the weekly is at 17,000 now. That'd be kind of hard to go under there. But up in the upper left corner there is the true Wyckoff distribution cycle that Wyckoff was trying to teach people. He wasn't sticking accumulation patterns onto a Wyckoff cycle. when it's only 50% down, right? This would be his redistribution pattern that no one seems to be able to find on the internet. And the true accumulation would be down here. This is where the true Wyckoff accumulation would go. This is the teachings of Wyckoff himself, right? He never taught anyone to stick an accumulation pattern where the redistribution pattern belongs, right? Accumulations are on the bull side. We're now on the bear side. That's where redistributions are. Until we bottom out, wherever that bottom is going to be, that's where we stick and paste the accumulation chart, right? So I don't want to be right about this. I'm just going to make videos about what I see, right? That clearly is not a healthy market. That channel going down is money leaving the market. That's the angle it's leaving at, and that's since the drop, right? That's since May 18th, after it dropped, right? We were at 34 to 40,000 at the end of May, right? And now we're in July at 33,000 and going lower. So that this is an ongoing situation. This is not an accumulation. And I hope you subscribe and like this video and do all that jazz, because my game is this momentum type stuff, right? You want to accumulate all down through here, right? This is where you accumulate. And so the sooner we get back down into an area like this over here, wherever that's going to be, maybe it's between 20 and 30,000, wherever it decides it's going to bottom out. Maybe it's 9,000, 10,000, wherever that happens. That's when we can start to do some really good things. Now barring some kind of incredible pumpage to the upside this week when markets open back up, I'm not saying that's not impossible, but it's improbable. Keep an eye on it and subscribe to my channel, and I think we can do some really good things down here. Once it bottoms out, wherever that bottom is going to tell us where it's at, we will find it eventually. The problem with being a bull right now is that just a simple piece of FUD can come out, and just a little bit more buying pressure or selling pressure could just it could be utter carnage, right? It could just be like dominoes. If there's high leverage longs out there that don't get out, and there's a long squeeze possible, and FUD, and it's ripe for the picking, right? It's like an orange that is a day past ripe. It's just sitting there and it's juicy and it's just ready to go, right? It would take a massive effort for it to go up from here. But for it to go down from here, it would just be like a butterfly comes and lands on top of the orange and it falls off the branch, right? So subscribe, come back later and subscribe if this plays out. Do what you want. But hope you enjoyed the show. And as always, thanks for watching.